Sometimes art is prophetic, and sometimes I don't know how to offset it. The words too authentic to constantly do what I do and augment it. Y'all talk a big game, can't tell if y'all meant it. If seconds turns to minutes, the ticking will tell all. Will you hold firm or steadily fall? Will you conform with the ways of the world? Or will you give the world everything that you are? Make them fuckers move around you, kinda like sound do. Break out of everything that they had you bound to. You got knocked down, ho, get ready for round two. It's round two. Get ready for round two. Come back, run rap, run laps around these cats, jump back, kiss myself, still keeping me intact. Weird and black, they for that, hold up, steer it back. Weird and black, they revere that. Yup, you hear that?
Turnstile, switch it up. Young nigga raised hard, he learned not to give a fuck. Young nigga came far, still never give enough. Coming with the flavor, listen so she lick it up. Bust down, stick it up, I put it down so pick it up. Scud town, saviors, done some till he shift to musk. Stench so stank that the shit compare soft to us. Crud so dank, make your face much dripping cuz. Club go shake when the bass gets to hitting ya. They ain't really hearing us, but they gon' feel something when the way is paved clear enough. I don't fear nothing but the fate that's God really not. Well fuck it, got the world in my hands and that's real enough. Fuck it, got the world in my hands, gold forms to touch. Might just spend it all one time to give it all to us. Yeah, give it all to us.
Yeah, this that hip hop body rock, hardcore karate chop, neo-Nazi nasty, not feel it in my chest. How could you wear that name? Must be automatic shame. He's an automatic lame, heard it from the best. Fresh flow, let's go. Plus I got a lot of heart. It's necessary when you dabble in this art. Grab canvas, paint picture, use them acrylics, paint a picture so vivid the people gotta feel it like the Kaaba. Lyrics bear fruit like guava, words spilling out of my brain like lava. Spills out the top of a volcano, and they know that A-Right is not the one to play no. I'm Kano in Mortal Kombat, cause the lyrics like blades. Aim it at your juggler when I'm on stage. Until you heard me spit, homie, you ain't heard rage. On another chapter, so turn a turn. Okay, got that out my system. A-Right on another planet, dog, you must have missed them. When I do it, how I do it's of my own volition. Go make my destination even in the worst condition. My crew's the Blues Brothers, cause you know we on a mission. Eternity of roses I make bumping in your system. I mean, banging in it, I'm still hanging in it. I got a gang of wisdom, I got a gang of rhythms. I got a lot of soul, I found the pot of gold. I'm wrapping that shit up, gon' sell it to the globe. I got some game to give them, they don't really want, but they really need it. And I want you to succeed, I want you to be free. I want you to remove every obstacle from being what you truly wanna be. I truly wanna see, and I can only lead by example. So here's a sample for me, so get up.
He's the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game. You're tripping. How you high? No, it is Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in that front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
What the fuck?
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches. What is going on, folks? Welcome back to After Further Review. This is episode 157. I am your co-host, Jalen Brown.
Alright, I'm your other wonderful co-host, Malin.
And I'm your other great co-host, Nestor.
And joining us for another first half, we've got Junebug Spade. What up, June?
What's going on, fellas?
You're frozen on Discord, Ryan, but I'm sure it'll come back.
I'm
here.
seeing you good.
on the stream.
Oh.
But anyway, June, thank you for joining us for another week here. Much appreciated.
Thanks for having me. Yep.
How have you guys been? Nestor is here in person.
Yeah.
Nestor.
Long drive from Sarasota, but happy to be here.
You and Nestor traded spots this week.
Right.
You are in Sarasota now.
Yeah, now I'm in
Some back
Sarasota. Now I'm
closet.
in Manatee County. But
Yeah.
folks, we're all in the same room. We're just
No,
on a
not.
different system here. So we're each on a different camera here. So
So we're all in the same room like Junebug ain't in Dallas right now.
oh, besides June.
Like June ain't in Lone Star State.
But anyway, folks, if you don't know, we live stream the show every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you want to click the first link down in your podcast description below, you'll be taken to the YouTube version of this episode. If you want to click subscribe, you'll be notified every Wednesday night, just in case you somehow forget when your favorite show is live. Be sure to drop a like as well, and if you want to leave us a comment, we'll probably read it on the next episode. So there is that, and let's get into the first. Actually, we have to do a cheers. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Here you are. I can't even see you. It's great. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Virtual cheers. Here you go.
Why can't I see Nestor and I right now? What are we?
There you go. You want to see Nestor?
No. I'm looking at him. Okay. So, do they see us all on the Discord chat? We're doing things differently.
Right.
Jalen's decided he's a big goddamn deal now. He gets to sit at the head of the table.
Okay.
And Nestor and I are we're nothing.
We are going to get
What are we-
started
what
with
are we doing?
our Week 5 recap here, folks. We are going to start off with, of course, the Sunday night game with the 49ers beating the Cowboys 42-10.
This is so great.
June, we're going to, of course, start with you. Are the Cowboys a legit threat in the NFC?
They are still a threat.
Still a threat.
They are still a threat, but they have a lot to clean up. I mean, I keep saying this. Which Cowboys are they? Are they the Cowboys that played against San Francisco and Arizona? Are they the Cowboys that played against, the Giants, the Jets, and the Patriots? What team is this? So we can't. So we have to continue to say they're a threat just because of those 3 games. And then you can come on the back end and say, but they fall asleep against certain teams. So, I mean, they're still going to be a threat because they still got the talent. But are they a threat to win it all in the NFC? No. Are they a threat to make some noise in the playoffs? Yes. That's it.
Okay.
Wait, so you already don't think they can make it to the Super Bowl after 1 game in Week 5?
2 games.
Okay. I'm just saying. Listen, man, back in. Okay, so have you guys ever seen the movie The Hangover?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all aware of this movie. All right, so do you guys remember Bradley Cooper? He's out there in the desert, calls his fiance. She's like, listen, we fucked up. That's Cowboys fans for believing in this godforsaken team for another year. Doing it one more time. Dak somehow had him believing. Fat ass McCarthy somehow had him believing. Zeke ain't even eating soup over there anymore. He's with the Patriots, and they're a god awful team.
Yep.
They got Tony Pollard. Like CeeDee Lamb had 4 targets in that game against San Francisco. I mean, he said, which team do we have? He's talking like, first of all, anyone that separates anyone that makes you separate the Cardinals and the Niners into any type of faction, that's bad. Second, you're talking about the Giants, the Jets, and the Patriots, 3 of the worst teams in the NFL right now. So you want to know which team the Cowboys are. They're a pull the rug out from under you again type of team. I think that they're very good when they get a lead. They get up by a couple scores. They can pin the ears back. They can get after the quarterback. Playing in games in which it's not a blowout, you see that defense struggle. You see Dak unravel. So I don't know what it is about Dak. I remember in 2016, which seems forever ago, when he came into the league, he looked every bit as a quarterback that's like, yeah, you know, he could lead a team to the promised land. But I don't know if it's that his talent has regressed or injuries have caused it or the talent around him has regressed. But he does not seem to be the same quarterback that he was when he came into the league, which means that there's no growth. And to me, if there's no growth in the quarterback, then you have a coaching problem. There's no way in hell that Purdy should be more poised in the pocket than Dak Prescott at this point in both of their careers. Like, it just shouldn't have happened. You hold Christian McCaffrey to under 3 yards a carry, and you get blown out. They beat the brakes off you. That's not good football.
Nestor?
Yeah, Cowboys seem just very inconsistent. What shocked me the most is that offense didn't really get going. CeeDee Lamb was asked basically what had happened, and he just said that they need to be more of a complete team. So they need to be more complete. They need to be consistent. How does that happen with Dak Prescott when you're facing good competition? I don't know. That's the big question. And that's what's going to decide if they're going to be a threat or not. I was really shocked with that offense, how bad it was. But also give credit to the fact that the Niners are a really dominant team, because we can't get ahead of ourselves and just talk about how the Cowboys are just very incomplete. They're bad, whatever. But this team, the Niners, they've been really dominant. So, yeah, if they lose to a team like Arizona, we got huge questions. But this is against a really, really good Niners team. Their defense is really good, and Brock Purdy seems to do enough where the playmakers they have, if they shut down any one good playmaker, they have other options going for them. So it's a really good team, and we'll see how the season goes and how Dak Prescott performs going forward.
I mean, if you're asking like whether or not they're a threat in the NFC, do I think they're still going to make the playoffs? Yes. Anything can happen in the playoffs.
Right. True.
But I mean, like I'm looking at the rest of their schedule, right? And I think that they have a chance of winning 1 out of 2 in Philly, but they'll drop one of them. Because Philly hasn't necessarily even looked right. Like they've been finding ways to win without firing on all cylinders, which is actually also scary as hell. You know, they're probably going to beat the brakes off of Daniel Jones, Carolina, Washington. I would like to think that Seattle, Buffalo, and Miami and Detroit can handle them. So you could see, you know, Detroit losing like another 5 or 6 games. So does 9-8, 10-7 put them in the playoffs? Probably. I don't know if Junebug, if he's looking at the schedule, if he thinks that's as realistic as I'm seeing it. That offense just not seem potent. Even in the blowout wins that they've had, they're getting the scoring opportunities because of short fields, because the defense has forced so many turnovers.
Yeah, and that's 100% correct, because it seems like there is a disconnect between Dak and McCarthy. I don't know, if you look at Dak, he just doesn't look excited when he takes the field. He doesn't have that fire that he had last year. Even after coming back from the injury, I was like, when he came back from the injury, he looked like he had a spark in his eyes, like, hey, let's go. You know, I'm back. Let's go. This year, I have not seen that spark. I have not seen that Dak. And I don't know if it's because they got rid of Kellen Moore, they got rid of Zeke, you know, they brought some new pieces in. I just don't get it. Just don't know why he just doesn't look comfortable right now.
I think the only quarterback that looks more unhappy than Dak is Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm here for it.
Well, I gotta say, I do not think that they are a legit threat as far as a championship type team. Playoff team, yes. But the same reason that I thought before the season started what was going to hold them back was the quarterback. I think that's still very prevalent now. And June said it, I think, after the game on Sunday in Discord. He was like, something along the lines of,
time to find a new quarterback.
Right, time to find a new quarterback. And it's like, to me, he's just their biggest issue is him. Because you can't, 3 picks, come on, man. Like, I know that defense is great and the whole team is great, but you cannot play that poorly with that good of a roster around you. Yes, the offense could use a few more weapons, but it's not, he doesn't have New England's offense. He doesn't have Chicago's offense.
Yeah, that's true.
There are worse offenses out there beneath Dallas. So,
how do they replace him? They're not going to be bad enough to get one of these 5 or 6 quarterbacks that are going to come out of the draft unless they want to make a trade and give up a crap ton of draft capital, which I think would be a problem, because I do think, as much as Jerry Jones looks like the crypt keeper, they have drafted very well. And so you want to keep those draft picks. And then, like, who are you going to sign in free agency? How are you going to get rid of the $30-something million, $40 million you own, Dak? Like, I kind of feel like they're stuck at this point.
Yeah, they are to some degree.
Well, the thing is, I think one of the things you have to look at is, what is his trade value? I mean, he has a lot of regular season wins. If you're looking to win in the regular season, he can do that. He's never had a losing season as a starting quarterback. The year he got hurt, that when he hurt his ankle, the team had a losing season, but him as a starting quarterback has never had a losing season. So there's trade value there. Wow. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine, you know, and he was saying, if they go out against the Chargers and they lay another egg like they did this week, you got the bye week. Why can't you take a look at Trey Lance coming out the gate?
Oh,
I mean, why not? Why not?
I don't know, because the man has played, I don't know, 3 quarters of football in 4 years, and 3 of those quarters were at North Dakota State, the Bison.
But at some point, you got to see what you have. You just traded for him.
I know, but just because the Niners fucked up don't mean the Dallas need to fuck up more.
I didn't think that we would start hearing the words Trey Lance by week.
Well, hey, this is
6.
the state of the Dallas fan
Let's
base
go.
at this point. Listen, Junebug would have rather have go and listen to Kevin Bacon sing than to watch this football game because he knew they were going to get their ass beat. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jalen. I'm going to make a comparison on what I think Dak Prescott's career is going to end up like. Who did the Seahawks play just 2 weeks ago? What team?
They played
Carolina Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers. Okay, yeah.
Who started that football game for Carolina?
Oh,
Was it not Sam Darnold?
No.
Who's
Was it Andy Dalton?
Is the
It was Andy
Amish
Dalton, right?
rifle?
Andy Dalton. There we go.
I
was Andy
think
Dalton.
that when we get to the end of Dak Prescott's career, I think we're going to look at him and Andy Dalton as two of the same. You can win some regular season games. Someone put it out there today, I think it was an FS1, that, he might make a great backup somewhere in a couple years. And I was like, wow, Dak Prescott? No way. And then I started looking at the Amish Rifles numbers. I started looking at that, and I was like, oh, man. Like, Dalton had A.J. Green. Had some winning seasons. Couldn't win in the postseason. Ended up, getting to the place. Like, I can see his career ending up like Andy Dalton's. We could end up seeing Dak Prescott like the backup quarterback in the Miami Dolphins at some point.
Well,
6-7 years.
Let's move into somebody that is definitely not a backup. Most certainly not.
Yeah, it should
This
be.
is the franchise quarterback right here. But Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers
Little Piggy Pickett.
holding off the Ravens 17-10.
Okay.
Malin, let's start with you. Should Ravens fans be actually worried? Not just, a panic, overreact worried, but really worried.
I mean, you say Little Piggy Pickett held off the Ravens. I mean, the only people holding off the Ravens winning that game was the Ravens wide receivers. I mean, if they dropped like 3 touchdown passes in the end zone, like we're over here talking about Flowers and Odell and all these people. And man, Lamar Jackson, you got these weapons now. Yeah, these weapons dull as shit. They can't catch a cold in Minnesota in December. This is just ridiculous, man. Watching that game, there is no reason why the Steelers should have won that game.
Yeah.
Shaq's head got all fucking happy. And I'm really angry about it because he doesn't deserve for it to be happy. It's pissing me off. But no, like catch a ball. Like you're catching passes, dropping passes from an NFL MVP. Like what?
Yeah.
Like this was supposed to be the year that Lamar Jackson's didn't have to do everything. Right. And so now he's going to have to kill some people in the locker room. Like he's going to have to make an example. Just one neck, one knife, make a shiv. I don't give a crap. Something. Set an example. Get these people working right. Like how could you drop that many balls in the end? I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
3 drop touchdown passes?
Yeah.
We kind of saw it week 1 with the Kansas City.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
but
even then, it wasn't as bad.
Right. It wasn't
Yeah,
as
but
blatant
those
as
wide
that,
receivers
yeah.
played with Trey Lance at North Dakota State. Like you can't.
Well,
That's not the same thing.
I don't understand because wasn't
Those are B receivers.
he had the best receiver? Lamar's throwing to Nelson Aguilar. I mean, I don't understand how it was without one of the drops.
Oh, goodness.
Sweet God.
I just sweet something. That's
June,
bad.
should Ravens fans be worried?
No. Yeah. No, just it's one game for them. I still think they're the best team in that division. Hey, you gotta give hats off to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They came to play. The Steelers came to play. And they did not hold back. Harbaugh got completely outcoached in the second half of that game. He did. I mean, because the first half, I had Pickens. Let me tell you something. I had Pickens on my fantasy team. He had one catch in the first half,
Yeah, that's bad.
and like 3 points. He ended up with 27 points at the end of the game.
Wow.
The Ravens defense stopped playing. They stopped playing. And if you got you got two young kids. Pickett and Pickens are young and hungry. And if you give them that opportunity, they're going to take it. They're going to take that opportunity. And they look good in the second half of that game. I think the Ravens will be fine. I think they're still going to win that division. But Pittsburgh just showed we are an up-and-coming team.
Oh,
they got a good running back. They got Najee Smith. I mean,
sir,
they still got one of the best coaches in the league.
See what you did,
They
Baltimore.
still got one of the
Now, now you done. I don't know if Kevin. I don't know what Kevin Bacon did to you on Sunday. Stop. I thought when Shaq disappeared, we didn't have to hear about this shit with the Steelers anymore. They won 17-10, man. They didn't play great. What are we?
I wish my team won 17-10.
Yeah,
exactly. I wish my team would have won 17-10.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, both of y'all teams. I don't know what to tell you guys. That was
Can't
bad.
believe I'm not in the discussion of losing teams.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel
finally.
good?
Come on. Najee Harris ran the ball 14 times for 37 yards.
Well, that's not
It's
surprising.
That's
eight,
because
it's an 8-yard average, and that's because Shaq bought the jersey 2 years ago. We
well,
understand
not
that.
just that, but their other back, they need to get the ball to him, or I forget his name.
Warren, 9 carries for 40 yards. Yeah, he did great.
I'm telling
You
you,
just saying that because his name is
Who's
Jalen.
their third running
got
back?
more.
At this point, we need to.
His name is Jalen Warren. That's why you like him.
He's got more promise than Najee.
It's not enough that the man
Wow.
got Jalen Brown playing for the Celtics. You don't even like him. Doesn't even like him.
No, he's got to go still.
The Dark Knight himself, but Jalen Warren on the Steelers. You about to buy his jersey? No. I mean, it's the Steelers.
It is.
At the end of the day, Tomlin is going to have another one game over 500 record. They're going to be mediocre. I think they've won 2 playoff games in the last 8 years. They got their ass beat by the Browns and Baker Mayfield. Okay, that's how bad that franchise is. That Pickett and Pickens, come on. Like, first of all, who does that? Pickett and Pickens. Who let that happen in the front office? That's terrible. Someone's making up T-shirts right now, and they should be fired.
We don't need to spend much more time on that team. Another low-scoring game, kind of a similar one, but we had the Packers and the Raiders on Monday Night Football. 17-13 was the final score in favor of the Raiders. Nestor, I'm going to start with you. Should Packer fans be selling or buying their Jordan Love stock?
No, not selling. Not yet.
Not yet.
Jordan Love has showed us that he's pretty good. He's had some decent games. Yes, he's been throwing some picks. I expected some pretty bad picks. I expected Romeo Dubs to go off, have another good game, show that there's something besides Watson in there. But you have to also think there's no running game because A.J. Dillon, he's not a good running back. I feel like when Aaron Jones is there, it gives that offense a little bit more depth. And
He's been back.
Jordan Love can kind of, well, he's been injured. I feel like after week 1, after that hamstring injury, we didn't see anything from him after that. Not much. So, and they tackled him pretty bad against, I think it was Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah, they messed him up. So I think that set him back a little bit. But I feel like when Aaron Jones gets back, that offense will have more depth. And I do think those wide receivers, Reed, I think his name is, and Romeo and Christian Watson, I think they'll do better. So not yet. Don't sell yet. I actually believe in this quarterback for the Packers.
So you'd buy more?
I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't mind buying more.
Okay.
Honestly.
June, where are you at?
No, I like Jordan Love. I think he's a good young quarterback. I think
So you're
I think the Packers
This man has a Dak
trying to
Prescott jersey.
make that
Swear to God,
make
he
that
does.
make that trade. But but I think if the Packers go out and get him a big time wide receiver next year, I think you'll see him grow up just a little bit more. I mean, you look at the guys who may be available next year, like if Stephon Diggs becomes available, the Bills, they part ways, or who else got into it the other day? Jamar Chase. If a guy like Jamar Chase becomes available, you put him, there with Jordan Love, and you can see that young kid. You see them, start to develop together. So I think I'd buy more with Jordan Love.
And they have a good that kid. Their tight end Luke Musgrave.
Yeah.
He's pretty decent. He's better than Hunter Henry.
Got that right.
So,
Well, if Hunter Henry can get the ball, but that's another
it's
discussion. If I had to pick, I'm selling. I'm sorry. I'll just get rid of it now while it's still worth a little bit of something, because I don't quite see. I don't know if it's the coaching staff that just won't take the reins off of him, or it's just him. But there's just no. He's not taking any shots down the field pretty much ever. I can't think of one like real deep ball that wasn't in the hands of the other team that I've seen him throw. So I don't know. Like there has to be at least some gunslinger mentality to some degree if you're going to be, a top quarterback in the NFL now. And I don't see it. It's very just everything underneath, very safe, and it just seems like the Packers are really trying to protect him and make everything as easy as possible. You really can't win like that in the NFL. Like you got to have a gamer at the quarterback position who's going to take some shots. So I would sell, but that's me. Malin.
Listen, if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I'm going door to door like the Girl Scouts and fucking selling cookies, people. We are selling on Jordan Love. You guys are out of your goddamn minds if you think he's a good quarterback right now. He threw for 245 yards and 3 touchdowns in game 1 against the Bears. He has since thrown 5 touchdowns and 6 interceptions and only thrown for another 800 yards in the last 3 games. He's essentially the reason why they're losing, because the offense can't move the ball. They can't do it. Now, yes, is the running game great? No. The only good thing Jordan Love is doing is averaging 6.1 yards a carry as a runner. Can't throw the damn ball worth a bitch. 55.6 completion percentage, and y'all want to tell me he's a good football player right now? 55.6. Is this the 1985? Is this Vinny Testaverde and the Browns? What are we talking about? 55%? You're not
There's some bones there.
No, you're not a good NFL quarterback in 2023 if you're throwing for 55%. I don't care what talent you have around you. 55%. I don't.
Yeah. And that is why I'm with you, Malin.
Yeah, just
I'm
god
dumping
awful. Dump, sell, get you some of them sugar snaps. Let them.
I'll
peanut
take
butter
him in
cookies.
Dallas. I'll take
You
him
take
in
him
Dallas.
down?
Oh,
No, you
boy,
wouldn't. You
Charles.
want Trey
You-
Lance.
you are
This
not
man
that
wants
desperate,
Jordan
Jim.
Love and Trey Lance
I'll jump.
to battle it out. God.
Wait till we.
I don't even remember where Jordan
Yeah,
Love went to
sure.
college. You guys remember where Jordan Love went to college? Where did he go to college at?
Arizona State. I don't know.
No, Utah State. Okay,
I'm thinking somewhere
so
up.
Oh, it is Utah.
so this man wants North Dakota State and Utah State. 2 football powerhouses. Need I remind you
I don't like
to battle it out?
the Green Bay coaching. Just
You don't
saying.
like
You don't like LaFleur?
No,
You don't like the floor?
no.
I actually
think
like.
he's a little. I don't know.
No,
I think that Aaron
Not at
Rodgers
all.
failed him in the playoffs. I think he's actually a good offensive mind.
Yeah.
I think like Aaron Rodgers does not win 2 MVPs under LaFleur's system if LaFleur isn't a decent offensive mind. Now, right now, like you guys have said, like there's not a whole lot of talent on that team right
Yeah.
now. Okay, but still,
we need some
55.6% completion percentage. Good God. I could throw 60% to Shaq right now. I mean, big target, but I can make it work. It's fair, whatever. It's like throwing at a mascot, like the Phillies mascot or something. I don't know. But I mean, you guys really don't like LaFleur?
no.
I take it right now. Jeez.
You said no.
But
Perhaps they need more time. They need more time to.
I kind of feel like at this point, like I felt like Junebug's so sad. He'd be like, "I'll take Nathaniel Hackett as my head coach right now."
whatever you got.
He's man. I wish I could give you a hug right now, man. It's just, I don't know if it was Kevin Bacon of the Cowboys, but somebody took some life out of you on Sunday night.
June, 2 losses. Telling you, it ain't that bad, my guy. Take those 2 losses.
You know, Mister, I got 6 Super Bowls. Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear about what you did for 20 years.
We're talking about now, sir.
You deserve it with the Deflategate ass and Spygate and
Let's move on, please. Let's get into the second topic of the week here.
I love how Jalen asked for sympathy.
I'm not asking for anybody's sympathy. I'm just saying, cherish your good times. Next topic of the week is real or Fugazi. So we've got, it's between week 5 and 6 here. And there's quite a few different things about the NFL that we're still kind of unsure on or on the fence about. And are we looking at truth, or is this just, kind of fabricated? Not fabricated, but, it's week 6. It's not the end of the year where we actually see the totality of things. So we're gonna hit a few of these different topics here, and we're going to make a decision. Do we think this is legit, this is real, or is this Fugazi? So let's start off with Brock Purdy. Malin, we'll start with you. Is he really this good, or is he more a product of the system?
It's not even a product of the system. It's a product of the talent.
Or that.
Because he's not somebody like Matthew Stafford putting up 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns with the Detroit Lions when they go 4-12 because they don't have anybody but him and Calvin Johnson. You know what I mean? There's just, when you're a quarterback and you have Kyle Shanahan calling the plays and you got McCaffrey and your number one target is Brandon Ayuk. And, that read's not good. So let me go to my secondary read of George Kittle. That's not good. So let me go ahead and go to DJ Samuel. And, none of them are open. So let me just throw it to the slant to McCaffrey and make me look good. He is making very good decisions. Okay. You're not going to complete 72% of your passes if you're not making good decisions. Mm-hmm. So he's not making mistakes. But he has an abundance of talent and coaching around him that, like right now, if Brock Purdy, and I'm sorry, Jalen, if Brock Purdy were on the Patriots, is he completing 72% of his passes?
No.
Probably not.
Does he have, 9 touchdowns and no interceptions? No.
Hell no.
Right? Like, so if he's with the Carolina Panthers, is he putting up those numbers? The Chicago Bears. I mean, I would like to think that if you put, Justin Fields with Mike Shanahan, that maybe not 72%, because I don't know how really great Justin Fields is throwing the football. He has flashes. But you see what I'm saying? It like quarterbacks that go to teams, they end up in perfect situations And could Purdy end up being one of those guys that ends up being a Hall of Famer at the end of the day? God, I hope not, because I hate the fucking 49ers. But, you know, like Brady fell into a perfect situation. Mahomes fell into a perfect situation. Manning fell into a perfect situation with Dungy. You know, right? Like, you have people that do that. Could he fall into that? Yeah. I mean, Montana fell into Bill Walsh, for God's sakes. And then they draft Jerry Rice. It's like, like, so, I mean, for the situation he's in, he's doing really great, and I don't want to take that away from him. But do I think he's one of the best NFL quarterbacks? No.
Nestor?
Yeah, he did fall into a great situation, but I don't think he, like Malin said, he's one of those great NFL quarterbacks. I think you could technically replace him with another quarterback that doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He just passes it to those playmakers and gets the job done. You could do that, but that's about it. And it everything we've seen this season and last season points to that. So yeah.
Go ahead, June.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the old thing, you know, somebody said back in the day, if you took Troy Aikman and you put him on the Dolphins, you put Marino on the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys would have never lost.
What would be the what would be the same? The Cowboys would probably still be the same, but would the Dolphins have been, you know, could Troy put up the kind of numbers on the Dolphins? And the answer is no.
That never happened.
I think Brock Purdy is a product of what the system he has around him. I think if you put Daniel Jones on that team, if you took Daniel Jones and you put him on San Francisco 49ers, I think they would be doing just the same as they would with
MVP,
Brock Purdy.
Danny Dimes.
But if you put Brock Purdy on the Giants, I don't think that. I think the Giants would be probably worse.
I think TD is just responded like he's watching Pornhub right now. TD is overjoyed with what you just said. With the analysis of Danny Dimes' Vanilla Vic. I mean, like, don't you kind of feel a little bit like an asshole though, guys? Because here we are, Mr. Irrelevant, out of Iowa State. Okay,
Right.
He's never lost a regular season game.
Right.
The only game he's lost is when he got hurt against Philly. We don't know if the Niners would have, but at the same time, we're like, no, man, like y'all got the most stacked roster in the NFL on offense and defense. Not even Philly or Kansas City went to the Super Bowl last year have a roster like the Niners have right now, and it pisses me off and it scares the shit out of me. But I kind of feel a little bit like an asshole because I'm like, look at this good old white boy just from Iowa State, probably cow pushing 2 years ago, cow tipping, and now he is just over here throwing dimes to all these talented people. Like, I don't know. Like, I want to give him his due, but you got the most stacked roster in the NFL. You should be winning.
Yeah.
Maybe not by 30 points every week. That's kind of
right. I would give him his due if Jimmy G wasn't there before him.
Yeah, 70% winning percentage.
Because we've kind of seen this before, maybe not quite to this degree, but
they weren't winning by 30 points.
Right. It's not like this.
They've won every game by 30 points.
But we've seen them with like middle of the road quarterback play get to a Super Bowl. So Brock Purdy could get him all the way to the Super Bowl, and we could still be having the same exact discussion if he literally just does what Jimmy G just did.
You know what I love about this NFL season, Nestor? Is that Jalen can say that, and then I can say, you wish you had Jimmy G on your roster right now.
Ouch.
It's sad but true.
It's gonna be a fun year. You got the Ron 10 playing for you, Chief.
It's because Shaq drafted Mac Jones, I think, on his fantasy team.
Son of a bitch.
Cursed me off. Okay. Speaking of that, is a good segue to the next one. Is this the end of Mac Jones and Bill Belichick? Do we think that come next year, Mac Jones and Bill Belichick will still be, starting quarterback and head coach of the New England Patriots? Nestor, I'm going to start with you, sir.
First of all, you got to start with the real or Fugazi. We didn't do that in the last season. Is it real or Fugazi?
We all went for Fugazi on the last one.
Yeah, but we didn't say it.
Well, we all know now.
So I would say real.
Real.
If it's
Woo.
it's the last
Right.
we've seen him. Yeah, I mean, it's so atrocious. Like what Mac Jones is doing, atrocious. Like it's terrible. It's terrible. And I feel like there's such a huge disconnect. And correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of fans are feeling some way about Belichick right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you think they're both gone?
And then a lot of people don't like Mac Jones, even in the locker room. Like, what does he do? He has like some. I have never seen this, by the way, but there's times where he falls and he tries to like hit something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's
he's
a dirty player.
kicking some people in the
which-
balls, man.
Right.
But yeah,
Oh,
I think that's the last we've seen of it. Why? I mean, why even drag it on more? Like, why? Why even do that at this point? So
It's like
it'll be
the-
interesting to see who they bring in. Maybe
He's kind of
Cam
like the
Newton,
Grayson
RG.
of the NFL, isn't he?
What happened?
Grayson, isn't that his last name? You know,
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, that white boy. from
Grayson
Duke.
Allen from Duke.
Isn't it kind of like Grayson Allen from Duke? They look alike.
It's similar, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
Some dirty
you
shit.
guys' third quarterback? What's his name?
Oh, you Zappy train, baby.
Not Zap.
No.
You're talking about, was it Malik Cunningham?
Yeah,
No.
bring in Malik.
He's-
Time to bring in Malik Cunningham.
Okay, first of all, there is no quarterback that's ever going to start for the New England Patriots. Their first name is Malik. This is Boston. It's not going to happen.
Oh God.
Next
All
week.
right? It's not going to happen.
Let's
All
get
right?
realistic.
We need to jump on the Zappy train is what we need to do. The Mac Jones clone.
All right, at this point.
So,
I think we saw
Malin-
that story last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Mac
actually
Jones
did.
to Dallas confirmed.
Malin, do you think this is real or Fugazi?
I mean, okay, so I know I made these questions. So we're talking about like both of them being gone, right?
Right.
I'm going to say Fugazi on that. I think that now there's only one way that this is real. Okay, is if Robert Kraft goes to Bill Belichick and says, "I want to hire a GM," and Bill Belichick's pride gets in the way and says no, and then he's dismissed.
Right.
Okay. Do I think Matt Jones has gone after this year? Yes. Do I think it's necessarily Matt Jones' fault? No. The man completed 68% of his passes. Was a Pro Bowler his rookie year. They were 10-6. It's coaching to me. You hurt his development with whatever bullshit Belichick rolled out there last year. And he's been frustrated. Now, the reason why he's been frustrated is that you would like to think that when you go from Alabama to New England, you're going to have the similar type of structure that Saban has with Belichick. But Belichick ain't been the same. He's been doing some weird shit. And you could have Bill O'Brien back now. That's great. But you don't have the talent because Bill Belichick can't draft the talent. He has not been a good drafter. Damn sure can't draft on offense. Can you name anybody of significance that he's drafted in the first 2 rounds on offense?
Nope.
Not a single one. He's whiffed on some people hard.
Oh,
That man been playing wiffle ball like a big ass goddamn deal. Defense he can draft, but the problem is he doesn't want to keep him. He doesn't want to pay the second contract.
Right.
So you need a GM to take the emotion out of it. Like Bill Belichick at times has been a genius for getting rid of people a year early rather than a year late, but he's also let people go that shouldn't have gone. And he hasn't been able to attract the same amount of talent going to the team because they don't have Tom Brady anymore. So they're in a different realm. So I'm gonna say Fugazi because I do think that Bill Belichick will be back next year. And I'm only saying that because I hope his pride doesn't get in the way because I do think they will have a GM. But I'm hoping, and when I say this, Jalen, I hate to say I hope. Because I really hate the Patriots. But I like legendary people in the business. And I want Belichick to have one more shot with one more QB to see what can happen. Now, Ness is looking at me like he wants to stab me right now because he's a Dolphins fan. He doesn't want to hear it. But I would love to see him one more time with one more quarterback to see what could happen.
I'm also going to say Fugazi for more or less the same reason that you just did. That Mac Jones, yes, that this is probably it for him, unless he has some kind of wild turnaround.
Yeah, you can't buy the next quarterback's jersey, by the way. You are banned from buying quarterback jerseys.
Not until he wins the Super Bowl.
Do you even have a Brady jersey?
Yeah, I still have my old one.
Oh, okay. Because I've never actually seen him in a Brady jersey.
I got a Tampa one, too. You want me to bust that one out?
You sick son of a bitch. You got a Tampa Brady jersey?
No, I kid.
Oh, I was about to kick through that monitor right now. That's disgusting.
But yeah, I think Mac Jones will be, or whatever, traded off or back up. Who cares at this point? Bill, I think, will come back just as the head coach next year, because Robert Kraft is going to have to take away his GMing capabilities because he's just really, really bad at it, and it has reared its ugly head one too many times now. Because the whole getting offensive coordinators thing, that's a mess on its own. Him drafting offensive players is a mess on its own, and that's like the two most important things right now in the NFL.
In an offensive league.
Yeah, and so you cannot get those wrong. You can get a little bit wrong on the defensive side of the ball, sure. But when it comes to offense, like, you really have to be able to keep up. And, you know, he's historically shown that's just not his strong suit. And, yeah, like when you don't have a Tom Brady there to attract free agents and make people want to come play with you, why come play for a archaic system with a very old school coach and who, I mean, historically people know kind of an ass. Like, I don't think that's very attractive. And last thing I'll say, Colin Cowherd, he said it kind of best, which is if you're at work, you can be either unlikable or bad at your job. You cannot be both. Oh. And right now, Mac Jones and Bill Belichick are both of those things, which is why one of them ain't coming back next year.
Right.
June, what do you think?
I love it.
I think I can split them up. I think it's going to be real for Mac Jones. I don't think he's coming back. And I think it's Fugazi for Bill Belichick. I mean, he's earned the right to stay as long as he wants to. So that's how I see it. If they take away his GM job, like you said, that's fine. But Bill Belichick's earned that right to stay as long as he wants to.
I'm just telling you guys right now, I think that with the way that New England season is going, and this is what's going to save Bill Belichick's job, is that they're going to have the opportunity to draft somebody like Michael Penix Jr. Or Bo Nix in like the first 10 picks of the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You get one of those two quarterbacks, you can transform a team if you can get the other personnel right.
Right.
Actually, I think Michael Penix, you could actually I think Michael Penix could be like Herbert. He'll make them better regardless of what the hell they do.
Right.
Bo Nix, I think he needs a little bit of a supporting cast. But I think the Patriots will be in the top 10.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Next one, let's get to the Chiefs. June, do you think that the Chiefs are slipping in the AFC? And that's real or Fugazi?
No, I think it's Fugazi. The Chiefs are still the standard in the AFC. they got Patrick Mahomes, and as long as you got Patrick Mahomes, you're always in the game. And so right now, I don't see anybody. As of right now, they still run the AFC. Until somebody beats them in the playoffs, they're still going to run the AFC. That's it.
I'll go real quick here. I agree. I think it's Fugazi. Until somebody can come along and beat them when it matters the most, I just they're the Chiefs, man. And right now, I know teams are flying high with you got offenses like Miami, and of course you got Denver's high flying offense. Don't want to mess with that one. But Cincinnati will probably get back on the roll here. It's Buffalo, Jacksonville. But when it comes to December, January football, and you still have to mess with Kansas City, I don't like anybody's chances against them. So I say Fugazi, but Malin.
I'm gonna go real on this. And the reason why I'm gonna go real is because we're talking about, are they slipping in the AFC? And I do believe that they're slipping. To me, they're not the number one team in the AFC or the NFL like they've been. Like they were the number one team in the NFL for like 3 out of 4 years. I know Jalen's probably looking at you right now.
I'm begging to smile.
They have not looked good.
No.
Travis Kelce's hurt again. How effective is he going to be? We already saw what that offense looks like without Travis Kelce against the Lions at home week 1. You couldn't put up points. 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes is like it. There's every team goes through this, and this is why it's so hard to be the Patriots of the last 20 years. Is that at some point your depth gets taken away from you. Mm-hmm. It gets sold to the highest bidder from other players. Trades have to happen. People get hurt. The Seahawks went through this. Everyone thought that when the Seahawks beat the Denver Broncos, they were going to rip off like 2 or 3 more Super Bowls. Never happened. Everyone thought that, Philly. Well, no, actually, people didn't really think that about it. But every time someone wins the Super Bowl, they think that, you're going to rip it off again. In Kansas City, the first year they won the Super Bowl, everyone thought, they're going to rip it off again. And it took them a couple more years to win one more. But time is going to start to catch up with them. They do not have the talent that they used to have. They still have the coaching mind. They still have the quarterback, which will make them dangerous, Jalen, in the playoffs, like you and Judenbug are saying. But are they the best team in the AFC right now? Have they looked like they're the best team in the AFC? No. They have.
Pretty close.
No. How? What have they?
I mean, they're winning games.
But they're not winning games dominantly. They're winning games like the Eagles are right now, and no one is saying that the Eagles look like the Eagles of last year.
I still would not want to run into the Eagles.
I wouldn't want to run into the Eagles right now either, but they're like, but now all of a sudden everyone thinks that San Francisco is better, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so we could say that the Eagles have slipped a little bit, right? Because now all of a sudden San Francisco is the front runner?
I wouldn't say that about the Eagles and the 49ers, but...
Okay. I'm just saying that they've slipped a little bit. I'm not saying they've gone off of Mount Everest or anything like that. They're going to miss the playoffs. They haven't turned into your Patriots. I'm just saying that, they... Like, the stranglehold that they've had on the AFC does not seem to be as strong of a grasp as it has in the past. Now, the Dolphins have to work out their defense a little bit. Hasn't been great. But I don't think you can say that Kansas City has the best offense in the NFL anymore.
Nestor.
Yes. 2 things. When... Real. Real.
Sorry.
When Travis Kelce is hurt, who do you rely on? Because their running game, Pacheco isn't impressive, and I know that sounds like something. Does that sound like a bold take? I don't know. He's not impressive to me.
He's only run for 320 something yards.
Right. And then you look at who do you rely on? Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, like
Yeah.
Defensively, who they got besides Clark that just came back?
right. So not the best offense in the league. And looking at their games, the only dominant game they had was against the Chicago Bears. And that says about it.
You can also blame that on Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. What's gonna happen there? Does the relation keep going?
Let's keep it moving.
Implement into Travis Kelce's game.
We ain't talking about Swift.
No, but seriously, besides that, they beat the Jaguars 17-9. But the Jaguars were kind of like building up. Like they started pretty slow, and now we're seeing Trevor Lawrence do better, getting that offense going. So besides that, they beat the Vikings by 7, and they lost to the Lions.
Jets by 3.
They beat the Jets by just 3, and it kind of looked like they could have lost that game.
They
honestly.
need a little bit of help.
Yeah, they did.
I'm just
controversial
listen. I just keep
calls.
hearing y'all say they beat them. I'm just saying
Listen,
because last year
okay, but
everybody was
barely
saying
by Zach Wilson.
everybody was saying
Zach
similar
Wilson
stuff
almost
last
beat 'em.
year, and I said this year I'm not making that same
was-
mistake.
Who was saying that last year?
People were saying that the Chiefs
Who are
were
these
slipping
people?
in the AFC.
What do you mean, you people?
Everybody, people on this
On
show,
What
TikTok.
do you mean, you people?
people on
Shaq?
TikTok.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly 69.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter
Let's hit the
jelly
next
time.
one.
TD might have said it.
Yeah, he might have been that train.
This man's not killing.
The
TD gonna try to whoop
Cowboys
my ass.
are looking to draft a new quarterback next year.
Let me go.
I'm going to say Fugazi.
What?
Even though I think that they should, Jerry Jones has the final say, and he romanticizes his own team. So even though I think that's the right thing to do, the Cowboys are going to wait until they're miserable, until they're like they have to, and it's very apparent. You know, it's too late. So instead of getting out in front of themselves, doing something early, I don't think it happens next year. I think it'll be a couple years from now. So I say Fugazi on that one. Malin.
Okay. Hear me out, Jalen. I'm going to try to change your mind,
All right.
which is hard to do. I'm going real. Now, Cowboys. We've already taught they're going to end up, 9-8? 10-7, right? Okay, so they'll
7-6.
probably be picking... You can't finish 10-6.
You
gotta
meant
put
11.
And if you have a DeMar.
11-6. I was like, what are we doing? We're not... Like, wasn't it TD that was saying that shit?
Oh, yeah. He
Somebody
didn't know.
doesn't understand a 17-game week. Okay, so hear me out. Okay, you and me, June, we're right here. Okay,
Okay. I'm
drafting needs. Do they have any big needs on defense?
listening. Yes.
Okay, the answer is no. They don't.
Yes.
June says
They
otherwise.
got
Yes is
one
yes.
of the best defenses in the league. They don't need to go for a defensive player in the first round. Okay? When it comes to the offense, you got good offensive weapons. Now, you could go O-line, but you're going to be drafting in 15 or later in the first round, right?
Right.
Okay. There's quarterbacks out there that are going to be available from the Cam Risings of Utah, from the Jordan Travises of Florida State, from the Sam Hartmans of Notre Dame, which I think he's like 46 years old right now. He's been in college for forever. J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan is crazy and good. Jaden McDaniels, I don't know if you guys have seen LSU play lately, but he's like number 3 or number 4 in the nation in passing yards. My mom is going to be really happy that I just shouted out Jaden McDaniels because she's an LSU fan. I think the value where the Cowboys will be picking in the first round, I think the best value you're going to get is the quarterback position, which is one of the biggest needs, which is the decision making. If you put that Dallas team with a quarterback like I just said, let's say Jaden McDaniels, on a rookie contract. What could, I mean, Jerry Jones is probably rubbing one off right now, thinking about what he could do in free agency with all that extra money if he can get rid of Dak's contract. And you're already stacked with a bunch of other talent. Diggs is coming back. You know what I mean?
Well,
so I don't know. Did I convince you at all, Jalen?
Negative.
God.
Neither Drew nor I are
I
convinced.
tried. Well, I should have. Because it was an intelligent take.
It sounded good. June, what do you think here?
Nah, I mean, it's Fugazi. Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones has drafted one quarterback in the first round in 35 years.
And the last time he did it, he won Super Bowls. So maybe he should do it again.
Yeah, we've also won in 15 too. So I don't want to. No, I think you
walked into that with June.
Yeah, but no. I think it's going to be more than just a quarterback. We do have some glaring holes. Our offensive line is getting older.
Yep.
Those guys are getting older. I mean, my God.
But who are you
Tyron
drafting
Smith
in the
can
middle of
barely
late
even
the first
play.
round for an offensive lineman?
That's fine. But Tyron
Someone from UCF.
Smith can barely even play.
A night.
He can barely even play. So you got to look at that position. You got to look at left tackle. You got to have a left tackle if you want a quarterback.
Yeah, but
Okay?
there's
You
not
gotta
going
look
to
at
be a
that
left
position.
tackle available in the
And-
draft at that point.
That's fine. You take him. You
That's
take
not
him.
fine.
And then you
What
have to
are we
look at.
talking about?
Could I have a
may
conversation with
need-
Pete Carroll and
I feel like Junebug is Jerry Jones right now, incarnate with this.
And then you have to look at now. Vander Esch has a neck thing, and the last time we had our middle linebacker had a neck thing.
Yeah,
he
that
didn't
was
play
Sean
again.
Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to look at that. And then we still may need another running back. We may need a running
but
back.
you're not
So
drafting a running back in the first round. You're not
I
drafting a
beg
running
to
back
differ.
15 to 25. You're not doing it. No one's that dumb.
Bijan
Robinson was.
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, he's a generational talent. He went in the top 10. No one's drafting a running back 15 to 20 in the first round when you can get him in the second round. Like, that's what I'm talking about, is that when you look at realistically where Dallas is going to be, where are you going to get the bang for the buck of the talent? You're not going to get a left tackle. You're not going to get a 12-year starting middle linebacker. You could get a franchise quarterback. You know what I mean?
You could get, but we haven't seen many of those in the last few years.
But I would. Where was Patrick Mahomes? Wasn't he number 15?
I said we haven't seen that many. We've seen some, but we haven't seen that many.
Nestor, clear this up.
I'm
for us.
saying I'm making the most.
what
logical
Malin is
point.
saying would be the wisest thing that the Cowboys could do, but I know they're not going to do it.
Somebody give me a contract.
I know they're not going to do it. It feels like that's what they should do, but they're not.
Right.
Help me out here. Could they leverage anything? Because I know they're not going to do that. They're not going to go for a QB. Could they leverage anything on their team to pick up some weapons?
For what?
Because I feel like that's what they're
Give
going
them,
to do. They're not going to do the smart thing. They're just going to try and leverage. I don't
Like
know.
retool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. The last time they won the Super Bowl, they picked the quarterback in the first round. You gotta have the QB. At some point, you got to stop going Romos and Prescotts.
Damn.
Let's hit the last one here. The Bengals, after their great win last week, the Bengals are back to the Bengals that we know them as. Real or Fugazi? Nestor, we're going to go back to you here. What do you think?
Real, but I don't think they're going to be as good as we think they're going to be. They're going to obviously play much better than they have been the first few weeks. But besides that, like, I don't know. Still, guys like T. Higgins have been not only hurt, but they've been really underwhelming. Like, he hasn't been playing too good. That O-line is still a little shaky. So, yeah, they're going to get back to playing some good ball, but not as much as some people think they're going to be at that level. So, yeah.
I would just like to point out that Nestor did a typical ride or die move right there where he said real, but everything that he said was Fugazi. He said real, but everything he said backed up Fugazi. So what happened?
Go ahead, Malin.
I'm going Fugazi on this one because Joe Burrow is still not 100%. Now, they did change their offense to where he had a lot more three-step drops, okay? And this is not just because my Seahawks are playing the Bengals, because I'm actually nervous about this game, because I do think that the Bengals offense figured something out in a way that they can use Burrow while he's still healing from the calf, okay? But Mixon isn't even averaging 4 yards a carry. Okay, so your running game isn't great. Jamar Chase has had one good game. He has 3 touchdowns, and they all came last week. Boyd, Higgins, nothing. Just, I mean, like 23 and 12 targets.
By the way,
okay,
Higgins went to the waiver wire on our league.
Yeah, for a good reason.
Guess who picked him up?
You did, didn't you? Yeah.
Look at
So you picked up a guy. You picked up a guy with 12 receptions for 129 yards on 32
Buy low.
targets. There you go. Yeah, buy low, sell low. What's gonna happen? But at the end of the day, the Bengals' offensive line is still trash. Burrow has still been sacked over 11 times. He's not playing well. The Seahawks have one of now, which is crazy. Right now, when the Seahawks play a team with a not a good offensive line, i.e., people like the Giants and Carolina or whatever, Seahawks are number 1 in quarterback pressures in the NFL. I think that they're going to do the same thing. I think that Burrow is playing on borrowed time because they're not resting him so that he can get fully healthy. They're trying to change the way they play to suit his injury right now. But his calf, I don't think is going to be better for the rest of the year. I think he's going to deal with it all year long. So is it going to be sustainable for the next, 2/3 of the season? I don't know. So that's why I'm saying Fugazi is that they're changing a lot of their offense to fit this injury that I don't think is going to necessarily get better. And the offense still isn't clicking, especially the running game.
June, what do you think?
Oh, I definitely. It's Fugazi. Malin said one thing that I had in my mind was Burrow is running on borrowed time. That's the same thing I was thinking too. And I said in one of my posts that they can't keep starting 0-3 and expect just to turn it on because the league is going to catch up with them. Their next 3 games is the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Bills.
Whoa, God.
That's their next 3 games. That 0-3 start is going to catch up with them.
Yeah.
I mean, big time. So it's definitely Fugazi. They don't have the offensive line to stop any of those 3 teams. And I still think there's a problem between Burrow and Chase. And there's a disconnect. And like Malin said, Mixon is only getting about 4 yards a carry. And I know because he's on my fantasy team. So he's not. So
poor Junebug and his fantasy team, man. He's brought it up twice. I felt bad for him, man.
So it's Fugazi, definitely.
I agree. I also think it's Fugazi. I know that historically they've always been off to a slow start. But Burrow's injury looks worse than it has in the past. And like Junebug just said, if you look at their upcoming schedule, that 0-3 start is going to catch up to them. It's like, you can't eat terribly before a marathon's coming up. You know, so like you gotta make sure that you're off to a good start, or you're really gonna be paying for it later in the race. So
Might be worth the pain for me though if I do that.
depending on what it is. But we all said
Eating some
Fugazi
chorizo
because,
mac and cheese. Get me on a marathon.
Nestor basically gave us all the reasons that's Fugazi as well, but he still said
Yeah,
real.
he said real.
I tend to do that.
This man.
Yeah, that'll do it for the first half of the show, folks. June, want to thank you again for another week. If you want to follow June on TikTok, it is linked down in the description below, so be sure to do that. Best of luck to your Cowboys. We will see you this week, or see you next week. And folks, we'll go to a break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
See you, buddy.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Hey. Yeah. Hey. On my way to the boat, like I ain't just have on a coat when I landed, outbranded. Perched at the edge of the branches. They don't wanna talk mansions, mine look like a campus. And I'm all about my brothers like the niggas I'm sampling. I'll leave you red shirted like the twins from Kansas. Really living my dreams I used to have in my aunt's crib.
This is the first time the Heat have made the finals since LeBron left.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
What the fuck?
Nobody wants to guess.
Is it Kyle Lowry?
If Kyle Lowry's number
Do I get the
three.
point?
Yeah, I'll give you the point.
I guess two of them. Do I not get points for that shit too? Can I just make a complaint?
How many times have these two teams played each other in the regular season?
Once.
Is incorrect.
No.
Twice.
Three.
Twice.
You already guess. Shut
No,
up.
guess again.
Twice.
What was your guess?
Three.
That is incorrect.
Twice.
2.
G-Money, any guesses?
I already said it.
We don't know if that's correct.
Well, I mean,
It is correct.
G-Money, try 5.
why this man had the most amount of points to complain about?
How is it
good butler.
taking that fucking long?
You missed the first question because you answered too fast. Not thinking.
He's stupid.
That's pretty hurtful.
First of all, this is the last time we're ever doing trivia. I don't give a damn what happens.
Hey. Yeah. Trendsetter, band frame getter. With whatever. I buy diamonds when I'm under pressure. When I apply, shit don't ever let up. Yeah. Look, I'm in the cut, the boy in the cut. Jump in the whip with a ceiling go up, we up. All of this grinding for what? It's funny when you niggas thought it was luck.
So who is that? All right, these Lance Spider Mitchell. You gotta put on the top.
Oh,
That's somebody good. Ooh, Steph Curry. Okay.
Ooh, that feels bad.
There's Darren Fox. Thank you.
Damn. Is that gonna fall the moment he gets it out?
Oh my god.
How am I supposed to even turn this now?
By the way, the person who knocks it over, your lineup doesn't even count.
He took Zion. Listen, that's the best I can do, people.
NBA. Jared Allen, you're coming home with me, friend.
Stack it.
Mr. IG Live himself.
Oh, the shooter. Oh, Jesus. That was hard in the Bulls' fault to get Zach LaVine.
Did you know AFR is also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts? Click the first link in the description below to listen to the most recent episode of the show.
If Miami can maintain their momentum and find a way to beat the Bucks in this series, you will be seeing us in the final. There's no question, ifs, ands, or buts about it, so be prepared to see us.
And the Miami Heat become the 6th in NBA history
to win as an 8th seed in the first round.
Game one.
Wants his ring, and he's gonna get it, and he's like, fuck him. He's gotta play lights out. He's gonna come out there and play lights out. Butler's gonna put the whole load on his shoulders, and I say he wins game one. Great momentum. That's how you start a series.
All 3 of the previous series, they were the underdog. All 3 of those series, they won game 1. Denver's 9-0 at home in the playoffs. They take game 1. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The Denver Nuggets win their 4th straight road game in these playoffs and regain home court advantage. Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Denver Nuggets are 1 win away from their first ever NBA title. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Murray falling away. Rebound, Brown banks it home. Bruce Brown puts the Nuggets back up by 1. Jimmy Butler on the drive, gets inside, stops. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. And a foul. 2 clutch free throws from Contavious Caldwell Pope. It's over. At last, the long wait is over. After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions.
Still waiting, wanting God to keep me on chill. Don't you miss me? I'll kick it with my new bitch. I still.
Yep, in my white tee. Yeah, color pipe Williams for the hype, please. Nigga, I'm white you before you wipe me. My boxes of checks, not my Nikes. Cactus, not no iced tea. Got them bamboozled like I'm Spike Lee. You need more than Google just to find me. I just call a beta, get a hyphy.
Incredible, general.
I just got the label just to sign me. Me and Chase connected like we signed.
What was your biggest surprise from this first week in the NFL? Now, Aaron Rodgers' injury aside, was it the Detroit Lions taking down the defending champs in the first game of the year? Was it how good that the Green Bay Packers looked against their first showing against the Chicago Bears? Could it have been how good the Dallas Cowboys looked beating the shit out of the New York Giants? Mine, again, Aaron Rodgers' injury aside, it's gotta be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Minnesota Vikings. I did not think the Bucs were going to be any good for any of this season, but especially the first half of the season. I thought they had a lot of kinks to work out, but they worked them out in that game and got through it and ended up with a dub at the end of the day. So I was highly surprised about that. But what is your biggest surprise from this first week in the NFL? All right, 5 games into the season, is Brock Purdy really that good? What I mean by that is he has not lost a regular season game. He looks fantastic on paper. He's, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But is that just because he's in Shanahan's system and he's a product of said system? Or is he actually just one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and that's what we're witnessing right now, and we're kind of underrating him because he's in Shanahan's system? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going. We're talking about this on tomorrow night's show. So, hey, is Brock Purdy that man? Or is he just another Jimmy G in Shanahan's system? I think that Ron Rivera is on the hot seat this year as a head coach. This is his 4th year as the coach of the Commanders. His overall record is 22-27. Not very good. He's gonna have a brand new quarterback in Sam Howell. We'll see how that goes. He's got a proven offensive coordinator in Eric Bieniemy. And the most important part, a brand new owner in Harris. The offense is looking pretty good, but the Commanders are still losing games. I think Harris might be looking to say, all right, Rivera, you're up out of here. We're going to promote Bieniemy up to head coach position, because if they have another just kind of losing season, Harris doesn't really care. He didn't pick Ron Rivera to come in as the head coach. That's not his guy. New management, they're going to make their own decisions. All right, Patriots fans. Come next year, do you think that Bill Belichick and Mac Jones are still going to be with the Patriots? As a Patriots fan, I think there's no way in hell that we see both of them back next year. And if I had to guess, Mac Jones is probably out the door. Bill, we'll see what happens there, but I can't see Mac Jones returning next year. Obviously, there's still a lot of football to play, so we'll see, but I can't see much of a change, a drastic enough change for him to keep the starting job come next year. I think we're drafting a quarterback. But what do you guys think? Are Mac and Bill going to be back in 2024? It's a shame to have this conversation in October, but we're awful.
Remember to follow the show on TikTok and Instagram at FR Sports. Now back to your favorite show on the internet with your hosts, Jalen, Malon, Nestor, and G Money.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. Second half, G Money.
Jalen, how you doing, bud?
G Money, I'm doing a hell of a lot better now that you are joining us.
He's better than a baboon with dementia.
Yeah, that's who I'm going to give my ride and die 5 picks to. See if they can't do any better than me, because my God, if you're betting, if you are relying on me to make you money, you have mental issues.
But your name is G Money.
To tell you how I got that nickname.
Oh Lord,
and it wasn't for making money.
Yeah, spending money. Wasn't that a Marine Vegas trip?
Yes, it was. It was.
Oh God.
Well, that sounds like another story from another show right there.
That'll get us kicked off YouTube.
Right. Let's get the second half cheers going, folks.
Dementia baboons. Oh yeah, here we go. Cheers. I completely lost it after.
G Money, what you got there?
Jack Daniels, bottle and bonded.
Oh yeah. Like the bottle and bond.
Very nice. Very nice. Let's before we get into community comments, the best show on this, the best segment on the show, follow us at AFR Sports. It's right up there. It's on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to have your comment featured on the segment of the show, that's the best way to do it. We post videos throughout the week on both platforms. Very simple, at AFR Sports on either one. So that is where you can weigh in throughout the week. When you're sad, when we're not live, that's the best way to find us. So let's start off with the Brock Purdy discussion. Is he really that good, or is he a bit more of just a product of the system? And of course, Nestor kicked things off with.
Of course he does.
Trey Lance over Brock Purdy.
This man.
Moving on, Jason B. He just Jalen Johnson. Shout out to a fellow Jalen.
Jalen's burner account.
Johnson.
Jalen Johnson. You can be more creative than that, Jalen.
It's like the 5th account.
He went from Brown to Johnson, like he's gonna fool somebody.
He says he's good, but credit to the skill guys around him because they're superstars. And then he got into a long back and forth with KB.
Okay, let's hear it.
KB says, don't disrespect Brock with Jimmy. Jimmy never made Ayuk look this good. Brock out here dropping 40 on a top defense.
Didn't Jimmy only play with With IU 1 year?
Probably.
Yeah.
Jalen
Half a
Johnson then
year? They
says,
played like 5 games together.
"My brother, you skipped over the part when I said he was good. And Ayuk had 1,000 yards and TDs last season. Debo was the focus last year."
He tried to make a truce there when he said brother. Something tells me he doesn't take the bait.
And then KV comes back and says, "Difference is Debo was the focus because Jimmy can't sling the rock like Brock. Brock been absolutely balling and against a Cowboys defense." Jalen then says, "It's no discredit to Brock, but he's got so much talent around him. It's hard to truly measure it. But I do think he's way better than Jimmy G." And last but not least here, KV says, "Yeah, and he's in the best position, no doubt. Just being last pick in the draft, the boy is balling better than Jimmy, Alex Smith, Cap, all the old QBs."
Okay. I'm just going to say it. I love it when a couple of black people fight over a white boy from Iowa State. Just going to say it.
And came to terms.
The typical TikTok.
You straight up dissed on Cap. And you're all on Brock. All right.
Can he,
this is the NFL
slaying
that we
the
live
rock.
in today.
Slaying the rock like
God.
Brock. That's the.
I love these people.
There it is.
Cowboys and Niners. Half of them ain't even got green cards. That's not it just they wearing denim capris with some Filas and some White Sox. Drinking Old English, the 40-ounce version.
The next and last video, will Bill Belichick and Mac Jones will be back next year. Junebug, he just reiterated what he said earlier. But Hell on Nurse 666 says, "Unless Bill literally died, he's not going anywhere. And even then, he'd probably be haunting the sidelines until the end of time."
What if he just faked his death? Is he still coming back?
I say yes.
Though literally, he just. What's the other alternative?
TikTok remains undefeated.
I love this place. These people. They have driver's license too. That scares the shit out of me. We share the road with these dumbasses.
They're actually allowed to vote.
Yeah.
That's the scary part right there.
Jesus.
They're allowed to do a lot of things.
They get the
when you think
vote,
about
they
it.
drive.
Anyway, let's get into a even more fun segment, shall we?
Hey, been fun the last 2 weeks.
This is when we make, well, we're supposed to make a little bit of money for you every single week. Ride or die in 5, folks. We give you 5 big games this weekend and tell you where to put your money at. Last week had another losing week for all of us. Don't let that fool you, though.
I mean, you can let it.
Malin and I went 2-3. Nestor and G Money went 1-4. Week before that, we all went 2-3, if I remember correctly.
Just waiting for the chimpanzee.
So, as our records stand overall, Malin is 193 wins, 131 losses. He's plus 62. I am 203 wins, 164 losses, plus 39. Nestor is 87 wins, 70 losses. He is plus 17. And then G Money is 108 wins and 96 losses. He is plus 12. Yeah, that's where we are overall. So you can decide who you want to go with. You want to just ride with one person, or you want to, hop around throughout the picks. It's up to you.
That sounds dirty as shit.
And take it however you want.
You just you want to ride us out a little bit? Go for it.
Right. Let's start off with Sunday's
The moment
game.
you said that, you knew I was going to say something.
I was like that with Skip Bayless.
You gotta
Sherman
be
was talking
stupid
about,
with
and
this.
he was like, "Swallow it, take it," and Sherman was like, "What? What are we talking about?"
I saw a clip of Charles Barkley where he was talking about the Timberwolves. He said, "These boys coming, these boys coming," and you should have seen the look on Shaq's face. He was like, "Oh shit!"
Where they do it on purpose.
He wants to know what he was doing.
I am convinced after watching some videos of Charles Barkley that I'll never get this show canceled. There's no way.
Right.
Charles be talking about San Antonio women.
Let's
double fist and churros.
Let's start off with the London game, the next London game. This is Baltimore and Tennessee, where the Ravens are 4-point favorites. Let's start off with Malin here. Who do you like in this one?
I'm taking Baltimore. I can't imagine an NFL team that has 3 drop passes in the end zone 2 weeks in a row. I think their run game's good. I don't think Derrick Henry has been Derrick Henry this year, really. I don't think he's going to have a great week. I think the X factor is going to be Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson does not want to drop another game. So I think you'll see him kind of turn back into Lamar Jackson of old. And for at least another week, Baltimore, I think they're leading their division right now, right?
Yeah,
they're 3-2.
Yeah.
I think they are. I think they'll be leading the division after this week, after they get a win.
All right, Nestor.
Yeah, I don't particularly like the running game from Baltimore. I think they should be doing better. Who do they have? Gus Edwards? Is that his name?
So he's picking Baltimore because they don't like him.
Justice Hill. I think he'll get a TD. I think he'll do just good enough. They won't drop the ball as many times. So yeah, give me Baltimore because I can't rely on Tannehill and Derrick Henry seems to be slowing down. So yeah,
Nestor, I love you so much.
G Money, go ahead.
Nothing but consistent.
Yeah, I'm taking Baltimore too. I mean, Tannehill just doesn't look like the same quarterback, and maybe it's time for them to make a change. See what Levy or Malik can do for them. And Derrick Henry kind of disappeared. It's interesting, preseason, when you're leading up to the regular season, and you have Josh Jacobs not getting signed. You have the running back for the Colts. Everybody holding out, and Derrick Henry saying, "Yes, you were getting disrespected." Dude, you got to produce on the field. And I think he's got like a 3.2 per carry average right now. I'd have to basically look it up, but I could have sworn I saw that yesterday that he had. I mean, that's insane. You're not going anywhere with that type of carry. And they don't have – who are their wide receivers? Anybody want to tell me who they are?
Tajay Spears.
Because I have no clue.
They got DeAndre Hopkins.
Treylon Burks.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Are you just making up names for these are actual receivers?
Yeah, actual receivers.
Wow.
I mean,
ask me why I know.
Is he like
We got
injured? Is he
Westbrook at
standing on
Kenny.
the bench?
You got Chorizo Akintu E. I think it's a tight end. What the hell is
Chorizo,
this?
isn't that like a
Is this like
Mexican
the
dessert?
Nigerian rugby team? What do we got going on here?
Tim Noah.
I mean, what do we got here?
We
We
got
got a German
Jalen-
Christmas
That was made
tree
up.
at quarterback. We got
Jalen's
Mexican
other
dessert
burner
at wide
account.
receiver. We've
Traylon
got
Burks.
DeAndre
What is going on?
No Hands Hopkins on the sideline, and we've got Derek, no longer the King Henry,
Yeah.
trying to run
Yeah,
the ball
3.8.
out of the
He's
backfield.
only got 2
I
touchdowns.
swore I heard Mexican Riviera. Somewhere in there.
No, you didn't. But you did hear Traylon Burks, which is Jalen's other burner account. Instead of Jalen Jones, you got Traylon Burks. This man got 6 catches.
So we're all taking Baltimore to cover because I am also agreeing. I just can't see them having as bad as an offensive showing as they did last week. So
Jalen has a double life.
I
He's
swear
a
to
wide
God.
receiver for the Tennessee
I
Titans.
swear to God, the Titans have the entire Nigerian rugby team. Then all of a sudden, you got Josh Wild. And he's the tight end, if that doesn't surprise you. 3 catches.
Of course.
Off of 3 targets, though.
Let's get to a big one here. So Sunday at 1:00, we have the Seattle Seahawks going to Cincinnati, where the Bengals are 2.5-point favorites. Nestor, we will start with you.
Not my team. Why have to start with me?
This is the rotation, sir.
I'm thinking about last year where when Seattle played Tampa overseas, and I was thinking Tampa's gonna win this game, but then I went Seattle, and then Tampa won. This game, Seattle have to win it. The thing is, with the defense Seattle has, I just don't see how Cincinnati could. I can see how they could make it a close game somehow because whatever, the NFL is like this. But to actually beat Seattle when you have Higgins on with a rib injury, will Jamar Chase replicate what he did last week? You know, like it's a lot to ask out of Cincinnati. So, God, I hope I don't regret this, but give me Seattle.
I don't even know why we even let Nestor talk. He should just have to say who he's picking to win. Like, I hope you got breath mints. You talk out of your ass so much on how people are going to lose and all this.
G Money, what is your team doing Sunday afternoon?
Well, the good thing about the bye, as early as it is we're getting some of our players back. We're getting, though I don't really think we need to get Cross back, our left tackle, because our line is doing actually really well, surprisingly, with the injuries.
We'll get Jamal Adams back for another 6 plays.
We'll get Jamal Adams back again until he trips trying to run out onto the field and sprains his ankle.
Let's see if he can get out of the first quarter.
If he can get out of the locker room without slipping.
He ain't made it out of the first series
right there.
The last 2 years.
I'm pretty sure that the team just needs to carry him onto the field. But that Reek Woolen will be back. Defensively, we're looking pretty solid. My concerns are since 2020, the Seahawks are 0-3 after a bye. And Joe Burrow is a little healthier than he was in games 1, 2, and 3. And against Arizona, when they pressured him, he had a 120 QBR. That concerns me. Because I definitely think we can get pressure. I don't think the O-line is that good. But my concern is going to be the Seahawks covering Jamar Chase. I don't know if Higgins is playing or not. I don't really think that makes a lot of difference, but Boyd will be playing. I think we'll shut down the run. I think Mixon will probably have about 50 yards rushing, but he will break one for like 15 or 20 yards, and Mail and I will be yelling at the TV.
Oh, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of yelling.
I think at the end of the day, the Seahawks win that. They cover the 2.5.
Damn right. That's a great Nestor move. Have you guys ever seen that video of Marshawn Lynch when he played for the Cal Bears, and he's driving the medical cart? Have you guys ever seen that? after a win.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? If we could get Marshawn Lynch to put Jamal Adams on the back of one of them little flat cars, just drive him around the goddamn game, that'd be great. Because Marshawn Lynch is a king. I love that man. In any interview he's ever done in his life, he is just he's the best. And if you guys want to hear some more Marshawn Lynch, listen to what he did on Shannon Sharp's podcast. It was actually hilarious. The fact that he admitted he laughed in Carroll's face in Super Bowl 49, that's your fault, Jalen. Or should I say, Traylon. So back to the Seahawks game. Listen, at the end of the day, I think that Burrow's going to throw 68 times, 380 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Seahawks winning 37-27. Because we do have that bend don't break, frustrating as shit. Every time you're at 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, we're going to let them get a first down for a while. But I think that Cincy's defense can be had. It's not very good. Cincy's offensive line is not great. I think there will be pressure. I think we'll probably get like 4 sacks in the game. I hope that we don't hurt Burrow because I want to see a good Cincinnati team going forward in the NFL. But I think that our defense going up against a bad O-line kind of speaks for itself right now. And I think that our defensive backfield and with our linebackers, I think are good enough to, you're going to get some catches. You're going to get some first downs. It's going to be frustrating as shit. G-Money and I are going to be yelling at TVs. Gary's going to say the word fuck like he's at the Dave Chappelle, special. But at the end of the day, I think the Seahawks are going to pull this game out.
I am going to agree with the rest of the group here because this is going to be, first of all, it's going to be a very, I kind of feel bad for G-Money and Malin here. It's going to be one of those games.
We're going 1-4.
It's going to piss me off. We're going 1-4.
Here we go.
This better be the one fucking game that we all get right. The fact that Shaq isn't here picking games is lulling us to sleep on our picks, where we're feeling a little bit too confident because we don't have the multimeter of dumbassery going on here.
The universe is off balance now.
It is off kilter.
I think the bend don't break defense. When you're playing against an offense that is prone to mistakes, it's great because you're just waiting for that mistake to pounce on them. But Joe Burrow does not make a whole lot of mistakes. But because that O-line is so bad and because of his injury, I think that the Seahawks defense is really going to get after him and maybe not force him into turnovers, but keep them on the other side of the field.
Is it Witherspoon?
Spoon, baby.
He's coming downhill.
Yeah.
He's coming downhill all day.
And he hits hard.
Yes.
Like, he reminds me of an Earl Thomas, but plays the DB position. Because Earl Thomas is small, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Woolen on the other side, which Woolen's healthy now.
Right.
All right. So you got some dogs. And like I said, for the first 2 series, we might actually have Jamal Adams. Total of 9 plays.
I was waiting for the Jamal Adams to come up because we didn't mention him last week.
Listen.
So I was like, I know he's overdue after that Monday night game.
Dude, if they're going to call him the Prez, he's probably been on the field as much as Joe Biden has been conscious in the Oval Office at this point. I don't know what we're doing. And I can make jokes about Biden because I made jokes about orange-faced Trump, everybody else. All right, let's not get political. We're just being funny.
It's like, don't get butthurt because I make fun of someone.
Exactly.
It's called comedy.
Yeah, we're not making fun of fat chicks in Philly right now eating too many cheesesteaks.
I will be.
Should, though.
I will be.
We should. Because they eat a lot of them. I don't know if you guys have seen the stands in Philly, but I think they had
I have.
I think they had to reinforce the bleachers.
Little emergency welding going on.
Yeah, I think there's some things. having to happen. Get too much cheese
I
whiz.
swear to God, they need to
Cheese
put those
whiz and
girls on the
steaks.
scales before they got there.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm, just like the rides where you have that size. If you're under like 4'5", you can't ride. You can't get on the ride. If you're over like 4.5 bills, you're not in those stands. This is not happening.
If a girl from Philly, if I was a car dealership, and let's say I was selling cars, a girl from Philly come into my car dealership, says, I want something that goes 0 to 200 quicker than anything, I'm going to give her a weight scale, say, step on it. There you go. That'll be $20.99. That's all of them look like they're descendants of Ben Franklin, by the way. Ain't nobody noticed that? Every single goddamn one of them.
Oh, how do we get onto these?
I don't know.
Tangents.
Barkley has San Antonio ladies. I got Philly. He got churros. I got cheesesteaks. I don't know what we do.
Let's get to the next game here between the Vikings and the Bears. Vikings 2.5 point favorites on the road at Soldier Field. G Money, what do you like here?
I like the Vikings, even though Jefferson's on the IR. I think, actually, I'm hoping Addison steps up because he's on my fantasy team. Not our one, but another one, and I need some points. I desperately need points. But no, I mean, they've got wide receivers. I mean, they have KJ, and they have Hawkinson, the tight end. Their running game, I don't know why the running game is as bad as it is, but their running game is like almost non-existent.
Isn't Mickelson still getting death threats?
Well, I mean,
Mickelson was
Austin,
getting death
he
threats after
was,
the
wasn't
Tampa
he?
game.
I mean, maybe he should run a little harder.
Baker Mayfield.
They're done with him.
But
they said y'all lost that Oklahoma boy.
The Bears, though, I mean, there's still question marks everywhere on their defense, their offense. I mean, their coaching. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get. And I think Justin Fields doesn't know what he's going to get. He goes out there, and he probably isn't quite sure what the game plan is.
Wow, you just call him stupid. God.
Well, he's stupid, but you know who's even stupider than that? The bloody head coach. He's an idiot.
Eberflus.
I mean, he got lucky last week.
Sounds Canadian.
But frankly, I mean, it's like people say, a broken clock is right twice a day. He got right once, and really, it was because it wasn't because he called a great game. He just got lucky.
Well,
so give me the Vikings minus the 2.5.
God, I love it.
I'm hoping that I also get lucky here because I'm going to agree.
You're married, that's
That's why I'm not picking.
I'm sorry. That was whoops.
Give me the Vikings and the 2.5 points. I just, I don't trust the Chicago Bears with a pair of safety scissors. They're just, I don't care if they're at home. Doesn't matter where they are. London, Germany, U.S., Chicago. I'm good. Yeah, I'll take the Vikings even without JJ. So, Malin.
First of all, where do you find somebody with a last name Eberflus?
That's the real question.
What is? I kind of feel like his dad was like a Canadian.
What's his whole name?
Wearing the. Yeah, I haven't even seen a picture of this guy. Actually, I don't know I think he's so ugly they don't even show his face on broadcast.
Matt Platarkin Abrams.
The what?
Platarkin.
Platarkin? Let me see a face.
Fucking.
Let me see it. What?
Sounds like a Star Trek
Matt
name.
Platarkin.
Platarkin.
Okay, yeah, he looks like an angry Canadian. So here's what I'll say. The Vikings. Cousins does not look good. The Vikings running game does not look good.
Are you gonna?
Mattinson still getting death threats. You got no Jefferson, which is your entire offense, right? They've done nothing but they lead the NFL in turnovers, whether it's fumbles or interceptions right now. They lead the league in turnovers. Now, Justin Fields. Let's talk about him for a second. You know that he's thrown 23 touchdown passes in his NFL career. He's thrown 8 the last 2 weeks. He's thrown 1/3 or 27% of his NFL touchdown passes in 2 weeks.
He's cramming for a test.
It's not good. But I like the Bears in this. I don't trust the Vikings. They were a team that I picked to win a lot of games, and even when they were healthy, they have been just shitting the bed. And Justin Fields has played great for 2 games. And I'd rather pick Justin Fields playing great for 2 games than Kirk Cousins playing shitty for 4.
That says a lot, because people, if you watch the show, you know what Malin thinks about Justin Fields and the Bears.
Fucking hate him.
That says a lot.
Pieces of shit. I'm actually, you know what, Jalen? I think you're a piece of shit for actually picking this game. If we're being honest, the Vikings and the Bears, you made this one matter to us.
Hey, folks.
Like, how bad are your feelings hurt because the Patriots suck?
We need to remember that
we don't need to remember the little
exists.
people. No, we don't. Fuck Chicago.
And we could have done the Kansas City Denver game.
Oh, good God.
That actually would have been funny. But fuck Chicago. What do they got? Nothing.
Nestor, tell us
got a
why.
Giant fucking jelly bean near the water with a fountain. That's their go-to.
What is your pick, Nestor?
I can't even say anything good about the Vikings, so I can.
That means you're gonna go with them.
So I can go with the Bears. I was gonna do a little, some of that stuff I do, but I can't even do it. I don't like anything.
Wait, you're
about
actually picking the Bears?
Yeah.
Because the entire time I was just talking, you were looking at me like I was fucking stupid.
Because I thought you were gonna pick the Vikings either way. No, I like what Justin Fields has been doing the past 2 games. I feel like he's going towards. I figured he would improve throughout the season. That we weren't seeing who he really is as a QB. So I think he's talented. I think the dude's talented, and
despite
the Bears are home. The only thing that worries me is they have 0 running game. Like I think all 3 of their running backs are injured.
But they got more wide receiver. I mean, if Eberflus would have elected to kick a field goal against the Broncos, they would have been 2-0 the last 2 weeks.
Awful.
But Russell Wilson has won a game in the NFL, which he shouldn't have.
This is our reality.
I hate it.
Yeah. Give me the Bears.
Next game, we have the Detroit Lions coming to good old Tampa Bay on Sunday at around 4:30.
Man, fuck the Bay.
The Lions, 3-point favorites on the road.
Yep.
The Lions are a very good football team, and the Buccaneers are not a very good football team.
There you go.
The Lions are favorited on the road. That should really tell you everything that you need to know. So I'm going to take the Lions to cover the 3 points here. Come on, folks. Don't overthink this one. Malin.
Yeah. I don't even give a shit if it's a rational take or not. I'm taking Detroit because I don't like Tampa. Yeah, like I said before, if they want to nuke this city, I'll take one for the team because the world would be better off.
24 hours notice.
Yeah, Ness is like, let me get back to Sarasota. The crazy thing I figured out about Vegas though is that they no longer give 3 points to the home team as default. It's 1.5 points now.
1.5.
1.5 points is what they give the home team now because of what road teams have done the last 3 years. Is that the default now of what they're basing it on is 1.5 points. So I did learn that just because apparently they've just been taken to the woodshed by away teams. Because I mean, you think about it though, with nutrition and the studying and the travel and the way that the NFL is able to do it now, and you know, I think it was Coward was talking about it, that you know you're able to communicate and you know the helmets in a way that you're not able to in college and stuff like that. Like you take a lot of the home field advantage out of it. So if you are the more talented team, there's not really a home field advantage anymore. Which is how you see a team like you know Detroit being -3 with Tampa +3. Baker Mayfield's been playing pretty good ball, but they haven't played that great of teams either. And so I think that Detroit has played, in my opinion, Detroit has played the best ball in the NFC outside of San Francisco. They lost to the Seahawks in overtime on a play that actually, and you know, this is G Money, and I could be, you know, objectionable on this. There should have been holding on Hutchinson on that play. So we're not even sure if that touchdown really would have counted if the flag, you know, was actually called the way it should have been. Detroit's played great. Montgomery.
Oh man!
No one thought that Montgomery would be doing what he's doing
so
right
happy.
now. Like, is it Gibbs or Jibs or something?
Non-existent.
Well, don't say that because G Money has him on his fantasy team.
Oh, he probably agrees.
Yeah, he probably does.
He's out. He's not playing. He's out.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, which
G Money. G Money
that
has,
makes sense. Most of my players now are sick, lame, and lazy.
G Money has Gibbs and Seattle's backup running back Charbonnet is his running back. So I kind of feel like he hopes that Kenneth Walker gets hurt at some point.
So I'm just hoping that Chardonnay gets 10 carries and probably busts one for like 30 yards and a touchdown. That's all I'm hoping for.
I just love that his name's Charbonnet. There's some sort of champagne sherbet. But no, Detroit, Goff is, if you were to ask me right now, like what quarterback I would take in the NFC, honest to God, I would take Goff over anybody else in the NFC right now. He's playing very smart football, and no one thought that he would do this when he left Sean McVay. No one thought he'd ball like this.
Right.
He doesn't have a great wide receiving core. He's got Hutchinson,
Yeah.
tight end, who's one of the highest rated tight ends in the league. So he does have him. But he doesn't have a highly rated wide receiver core, but he's playing very well within the offense that he has. And he's done it for a couple of years now. He's accurate with the football. He's not making mistakes. If you were to put Jared Goff, like I would take Jared Goff over Brock Purdy with the 49ers right now. If you were to trade places with them, that team be winning by 40-something points.
Isn't it Laporta?
What?
On the Lions, isn't it Laporta?
Laporta?
The tight end?
No, it's Hawkinson, right?
Hawkinson is
No, he's tight end of the Vikings. They traded him like
they traded
last
him.
year or
Okay,
so.
You're right. So it is Laporta.
That's funny.
But that team is just scoring points. Like everyone thought that Campo was crazy and we're talking about biting kneecaps.
Right.
And look at this team. Like everyone thought they were going to be a fucking joke, and they're 4-1. So
Here we go.
So yeah. So I'm taking Detroit.
Nestor.
Yeah, that team is playing really well. Montgomery. I feel like the O-line is protecting him very well, creating some space for him, because otherwise I don't think, like the first 2 weeks, he wasn't really, I didn't feel like he was running that well until he just started balling out. Like I feel like the O-line was just creating more space for him. Before that, it was just that they would just get to the red zone and he would just run the ball in.
Fourth quarter against Kansas City.
Right.
He's working.
Right. So now he's really getting up there to that level where when he gets that space, he's running off. They got guys like, I know he's kind of like a no name, but Josh Reynolds, he's gonna catch the ball. He's gonna do well. Yeah, not a great wide receiving core, but
I mean, they got him on St. Brown. I shouldn't be that disrespectful. They do have him on St. Brown.
But besides him, they got some guys that actually catch the ball and run pretty well. So yeah, I can't go with Tampa on this one. Because Tampa seems to pull these weird games off at home and make them close, but no, Detroit is
You're like me.
pretty well.
You were never going with Tampa.
No, no, that was never gonna happen.
G Money.
Yeah, I'm going with Detroit. I mean, how can you go with a city that's named after a female hygiene product? You know, I mean, I there's no way I could select Tampon Bay. Just not happening.
I need to move.
Let's go to the last game here. Monday night, we've got the Cowboys at the Chargers. The Cowboys are 2.5 point favorites on the road. Let's keep this one quick here as we are beyond the 2-hour mark here. Let's go. Malin, what do you like here?
Sorry, I'm looking up U-Hauls. I'm taking Dallas in the 2.5 against the Chargers. The Chargers got a wide receiver hurt because he always gets hurt. One of them always gets hurt. I don't trust Staley. I think he's one of the dumbest fucking people that actually has a head coaching job, whether it's college or NFL. I don't know how he has a job. I think he's fighting like Sean Payton and Eberflus and a couple other people and who can get fired the fastest. Just dumb as shit. And, you know, listen, I love Junebug. I don't want Junebug having to subject himself to more Kevin Bacon songs. So I want some happiness in his life. So I'm going to be rooting for Dallas on this one.
Nestor.
Yeah, the Chargers have a pretty good wide receiver out, but Palmer's pretty good. I think it's Joshua Palmer. He's pretty good. Aren't they going to get a running back coming in out of injury? Or they might. Is it a running back? Is it, what's his name?
Who?
Who's our number one running back? I think he got injured.
It's a great question.
Isn't it Eckler?
Eckler.
Yeah, isn't he coming back?
I think he's
Let
back.
me look that up.
I hope so because he's on my fantasy team too. I mean, I've got a bunch of IRs.
God.
So yeah, I hope he comes back.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like he'll be back.
I think the Chargers are going to do really well this game, independent of who Staley is. So give me. Who are they playing against? Just kidding. Give me Dallas in the points.
Oh, God.
Because they got to bounce back. So.
G Money, go ahead.
I'm taking the Chargers. Yeah, they've got Mike Evans out, but that's nothing new to them. It really isn't.
Mike Evans.
Not Mike Evans.
Keenan Allen.
No, it's not Keenan
tend to
Allen.
think, or Mike Williams. It's Mike Williams. But, yeah, could well be. Once
That was
again,
Aguilar.
We do a
nothing
sports
new.
show.
I thought about that for months, because I get, but that isn't anything new. Because Malin's right. They've lost wide receiver. They've lost him before. He's been injured and been out for 6 or 7 games. That's not a big issue. It looks like they will be getting Eckler back, and the Cowboys have a lot of. First of all, the Cowboys have issues on their on their offensive line, and they have defensive players out. I mean, the linebacker Van der Esch, he's out. They lost another defensive back, Donovan Wilson. He may play. He's a strong safety, maybe not. I just, as bad as the San Diego. See, I want to call them San Diego. I want to call them San Diego Chargers because that's where they should be. But as bad as the LA Chargers coach is, I still don't think he screws up enough that they lose to Dallas.
Man.
They'll end up losing to the Raiders, but
dumb.
they won't lose to Dallas.
This is a really tough one for me, but I'm going to agree with G Money. As dumb as Staley is, I just can't see that team losing to this Dallas team. I think Dak Prescott, even though he had a bad game on Sunday night, I don't think he'll bounce back completely, and I think he'll have another kind of piss poor game.
I mean, he only threw one interception before that game. The Chargers do not have the Niners defense.
They don't, but they also. I think this is gonna be a pissing match between head coaches with McCarthy and Staley for just who can be the dumbest head coach.
Well, if that's going to be the case, the Cowboys will definitely win because McCarthy can hold more in the bladder. From Wisconsin, for God's sakes.
The Chargers and the points. This should be a very entertaining game on Monday night. No. Very drama filled. Like, I could see this coming down to the wire, but
it's going to be as entertaining as the Packers and Raiders were.
Really, you think so?
Nah, I think it's going to be a snooze fest.
Wow, I sure hope not. Well, anyway.
Well, I mean, the sad thing about the Packers Raiders game was that the Packers had that shot and Love threw that interception. It's like, man, that's what bailed Josh McDaniels out, was the interception. I mean, he made some dubious play calling in the fourth quarter. And you're going like, okay, makes no sense, but okay. I mean, you go for a 52-yard field goal, which if they made it a 7-point game, which still meant that the Packers had to score a touchdown to tie, or actually score a touchdown and then have the option to go to 2 points to win. If they had gone for the first down, they could have run the clock and won the game. But, Josh McDaniels being Josh McDaniels decided that no, 52-yard field goal will work. Yeah, I mean, damn.
Well,
too bad the Seahawks aren't playing the Raiders.
That'd be great. Hey, do you guys think if Kona Big Wave comes from Hawaii, I think it saves fires? No? Probably not? Okay.
I think
not good. Nah, they're so screwed.
Well,
okay.
I want to thank you all for watching.
Oprah's
listening. However else you may be enjoying this show.
And The Rock.
We want to thank G Money and June for joining us for another week. Best of luck to all of our teams this weekend. That being said,
I'm going to be so relaxed this weekend.
Oh, that's right. Well,
let me know.
We will talk to you all next week. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good one. Peace.
Peace.